2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would like to call this May 5th meeting to order. We'll start off with our Secretary Treasurer. If you could, sir, if you could do a roll call for us.
William Nelson, Chairman.
Here.
Susan Costner, Vice Chair.
Here.
Robert Tippecanoe, Secretary Treasurer. Here. Jonathan Paul Way, Committeeman number 1.
Here.
Eddie Arce, Committeeman number 2.
Here.
Ronald Redout, Committeeman number 3.
Here.
Clyde Narkamy, Committeeman number 4. One missing. We have a quorum.
We have a quorum, okay. Before I go into this invocation, we're going to have a really nice presentation for one of our colleagues here that sits here. The 7 people that sit here are elected officials. We are obliged by our Constitution to meet every month, first weekend of the month. Here is where we can do business. Our Constitution is very clear. No action can happen unless you have a legal quorum and a duly called meeting. I want the Comanche Nation to know we have an election coming up. I'm so proud of our tribal council that we had professionalism and decorum. We had great decorum in our annual meeting. Do not be amiss in what you're hearing. Up here, we work as a legal quorum. Up here, we have to keep decorum, and we have to be professional. One thing about this group, we've all worked within the legal quorum up to this point. With that said, if those that want to, rise with me as we call upon God. Orako, Ap God, Napavi Jesus, Miarami, Bavi Jesus, Game, Nami Sutai, Nami Sutai na Namana, Nami Sutai Namana. Lord God, we are humbled in your presence. Lord God, you say, if we put our words in our mouth, that all power will come to our humanity. Lord God, you say, you receive not because you ask not. We don't seek your wisdom. We ask for your wisdom today on affairs of this people here, Namana, the Comanche people. Lord God, this past week we have lost many members, young members of our nation. Father, I ask that you put your hand of comfort upon their heart. Lord God, today, 60 years ago, my mother gave birth to me. And Father God, I'm grateful for that. I'm so grateful to be a Comanche today. Lord God, I ask that you bless the home of the man that we're going to honor today. Bless his grandchildren. Bless his wife. Bless his home. And just bless him. He is a grandfather. And what a wonderful thing for our veterans to be honored like this. Lord God, we come from a very veteran, warrior-like people. Lord God, may we keep our professionalism in our heart. And Father God, may we keep our personal agendas outside of this room. Today is for business, and we call upon your wisdom, oh God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. At this time, I'd like to call upon the Comanche Indian Veterans Association. If you could please come forward.
Morning, CBC members. Very thankful to be here this morning. Very honored to be here this morning to honor one of our veterans here on the CBC. First of all, everybody thinks of the Comanche Indian Veterans as more or less like a powwow organization. We are not. We provide, color guard details for various events. Like I said, including powwows, but like I said, we honor our veterans within our Comanche Nation, and we hold that very true to make sure that every veteran is being honored. Recently, we just finished off honoring our World War II veterans. We're starting do our Vietnam era veterans at this time. And like I said, we'll be continue on honoring all of our veterans, that are out there, well deserved. The other thing too, like I said, you don't see us in what we do on the outside. We do grave marker placements at the cemeteries. Recently, like I said, I was at work, but our gentleman within the CIVA organization went out there in cold weather. It was raining, and that recent rain that we had, they went out there and placed markers. We had a family that was represented there, and we placed some markers on the graves for our veterans. And the other thing that we do, we go outside and visit our veterans that are in the hospitals, we have VA hospitals, here at the VA clinic. And actually we go out and visit them. And also we provide, funeral details. We've been asked by families to provide that, service, to our Comanche veterans. And like I said, it's an honor and privilege for us at the CIVA to do all of that for our Comanche people. And I'm going to call upon our secretary if he wants to provide any more input.
We're going to recognize Mr. Eddie Arce. We recognized Eddie a couple of years ago, and at that time we were unable to provide a Grateful Nation blanket. And the Grateful Nation blanket to a veteran, to me and most veterans, is the highest form of recognition that you can receive, all plaques and all this other stuff aside. And we're about to do that. But before I do that, I want to commend the CBC and every one of you for the dedication, the hard work that you provide to serve your people. And you hear at the Tribal Council all of the, I guess, the negative and all of that, that's always the loudest. But there is a large part of us out there that appreciate what you do. And we're not asking for anything. Not this time, anyway. But we do. We thank you for your dedication, for your hard work, the progress that you're making, and for what I see is accountability is starting to really take place. And that is so important. So thank you. We really appreciate it. Mr. Odyssey, would you come forward? Most of you know, and I wish Clyde was here. When I made I was privileged to be the MC when we recognized Eddie a couple of years ago. And one of the things I said, and I still think it's true, that when I was in high school, I always thought Eddie's first name was Clyde, as in Clyde and Eddie. And those of you probably will remember that, because that's the way it was. They were always together. It reminds me of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, or maybe even Pancho and Cisco, but I wouldn't say which one was which. But it is wonderful to have a lifelong friendship like that they have had over their entire lives, and to have them here today, to continuing that in service to their people. I congratulate you, both of you, on that. I wish Clyde was here. So it gives me a great pleasure to present this service blanket, but I want to read your bio first. Eddie Wayne Odyssey served in the Air Force from 11 November 1964 to 19 August 1976, 11 years, 9 months, 8 days, almost 12 years, earning the rank of Staff Sergeant. He completed his basic training at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, his technical school at Amarillo Air Force Base, and as a supply sergeant. His first assignment was the 2nd Reconnaissance Squadron at Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana. He was then sent to Keflavik Air Base outside of Reykjavik. Now I know Reykjavik, Iceland, for 1 year. Staff Sergeant Odyssey completed his military obligation at Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri, as a material facilities supervisor with the the 351st Material Statistics Logistics Wing. His awards include the Good Conduct Medal with 3 bronze oak leaf clusters and the National Defense Service Medal, the Comanche Meritorious Service Medal, and the thanks of our nation, of the Comanche Nation, of his family, for his dedicated service. And I want to make a mention that his being a career educator is so, I think, shows his love of his people, his love of young people, because you can't do that without having that in your heart. You don't become a teacher, especially in Oklahoma, and live on that salary without love of your people and the dedication to young people. I was married to a teacher for 47 years, still am. So I really do know about that. So we thank you, and we'd like to present you.
With this blanket we're presenting to Staff Sergeant Eddie Arce, has his name embroidered on there. It shows his time of service within the United States Air Force. And basically, all of our blankets, every veteran that we do honor receives a blanket. And basically, the blanket shows all the campaigns that we have been in since World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, and the very bottom is the war on terrorism. So the war on terrorism is still going on. Like this is one of the blankets that we do give to our veterans and in their appreciation for the service to God and country.
Put it around him, fellas, put it around him. There we go, all right.
And I do salute you there, Staff Sergeant Arce.
Would y'all stand and give him a round of applause, please?
Have to say anything?
Go right ahead, Eddie, have something to say.
Well, I'd just like to say, I think they deserve more money in their budget. If you see what they do, where they go, and most of it's voluntary. And I think he's increasing their budget. But I'll tell you a story real fast. Lenny's been trying to get me to be honored by the veterans, but I told him I never feel like a veteran because I didn't go anyplace. I didn't do anything, you know, as far as I was concerned. So he talked me into it, so they honored me a few years ago, but they didn't have my blanket, but anyway. And then he said, okay, we're gonna put your picture in the book and everything. So that veteran book came out, my picture wasn't in it. I said, well, you told me this and this and this, and he said, I'll get it in there, I'll get it in there. Okay, it came out again. My picture was on the last page. My last name starts with an A, you know, they put it in alphabetical order, but my picture was on the last page. But anyway, it's a good feeling to receive this. It's a good feeling. I'm proud of my life, and I'm glad and thankful that God's been good to me, and He blessed me in many, many ways. I thank you very much.
Veterans, we thank you for the service so we can have our freedom to do great democracy. Business Committee, please look over your minutes from our April meeting. I believe there was one group that came before us. I believe it was Comanche Little Ponies. I don't think we ever rendered a decision on that. It's up to you guys how you're wanting to do that part. Also, I'm glad one of our gaming commissioners is here. Hopefully today we can move forward for 2 more colleagues so you guys can have your quorum. So who won that golf tournament? Ron's team. Golly. A bunch of Walters golfers. All right. Oh, they were.
Raised $1,200 for the cops and kids and shop with the cops.
It was to raise money for cops and kids. How many have been to Cops and Kids? Raise your hand. It's really a great event. It really is. It brings out a lot of people. Children get to learn something other than a divisiveness type of lifestyle. They get to see that the police are really pretty good people. Also, while they're looking us over, can I get a roll call here of anybody from Comanche Nation Enterprises, the charter? Anybody from Comanche Nation Enterprises? Okay. Mark Kavacik, am I saying it right? Kavacik. Is that Slovak? Okay. He is an author and he will be coming forward. He has, how many people have read American Indian Moses? I've read this. He's going to be coming forward. John David Wanee, you are here. I'm just taking a roll call for you here. Okay, Co-Talkers Monument. Okay, executive session, we got Sherry Kleinkohl, Hairback. Are you here? Okay. Do you have the daughter in question with you? Okay, all right. Dennis, you're here? Okay. All right. I don't believe the resolutions need to be an executive session. We need to come to a yes or no on these resolutions. It shouldn't even be debated, just yes or no. And let's just take it from there.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from last month's meeting.
Okay, motion made by the vice chair. Need a second to confirm that?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Johnny Poway. All those in favor of the minutes from April, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, the minutes have passed, ma'am. All right, we'll move to an enrollment issue. You're here, Amber, good. Resolution number 6618. It will be list number 1093. List 1093 does come to this. Now therefore be it resolved that the CBC accept the verification of eligibility for the applicants as shown on list 1093 by the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office. We do follow the actual Constitution of Article 3, Section 1C. It's the membership of the Constitution of the Comanche Nation, which states all descendants of allottees eligible for membership under the provision of Section 1A. Be it further resolved that the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office notify the eligible applicant by letter of their approved membership, and further that the enrolled member be provided information concerning their enrollment, including name, date of birth, roll number, social security number, and degree of Comanche blood. Business Committee, we have folks from Texas, Indiana, California. Comanches are everywhere. And of course, Oklahoma. We have one that is in confidence. We will not read that name off. But to entertain these new members to this Comanche Nation organization, I need someone to entertain a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion.
Motion made by CBC Red Oak. I need a second, please.
I'll second it.
Seconded by CBC Poway. All those in favor of accepting this membership from list number 1093, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. All right. I will go through this list. It's new members here. Some are babies. One, he never was even on the roll and born in the 70s. So here we go. Joseph Avila, Leanna Avila, Trevor Boyd, Spencer Brown, one that's in confidence, Maya Davis, Gia Gaither, Abigail Good, Keelan Harless, Justin Jones. This member is coming to us from another tribe within the confines of 18 years old. Am I right, Amber? Great. Amaris Carty, Daxton Linciani, Parker Nesbitt, Hadley Otataiwa Ryder, Donald Peterson. He's never been enrolled, ever. Born in 1971. Braslin Prentice, Kimbry Prentice, Jaden Rodriguez, Lalani Tihai, Ava Venegas. Everybody join with me with a hand clap to these new members, please. Thank you. We go to list number 1094, and it says here, documentary evidence on file with the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office verifies that the individual named on list number 1094 wishes to relinquish his membership with the Comanche Nation and to be enrolled with the Muskogee Creek Nation. And whereas the individual listed on attached list number 1094 is aware that he has given up all rights he may have as a member of the Comanche Nation, including current and future per capita distributions as a member of the Comanche Nation. And now therefore be it resolved that the individual listed on the attached list number 1093 be removed from the Comanche Nation's membership roll because of his desire to do so immediately. Be it further resolved that the individual on the attached list be officially notified of the automatic withdrawal of his name from the Comanche Nation membership roll, stating the reason for such withdrawal. Business Committee, I will not mention this man's name, but he is an elder. But I would need somebody to entertain this motion before we can go to approval.
I make the motion.
Motion made by our Secretary Treasurer to continue. I need a second.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Vice Chair Cothran. All those in favor of this man's wishes to go to the Muskogee Creek Nation, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That has passed. It's good to see the Mayor of Cache here. Hello, Mayor Comanche. Raise your hand. All righty. Where's that Mayor of Apache at? That's great. So Amber, I guess we'll move for this gentleman, okay? We're going to resolution number 6818, 6918, 7018, 7118, 7218, and 7318. As you can see on the screen, we had a booklet made for the first time in the history of the 51 years of our nation. Every one of our programs was on the booklet that shared with people what we're supposed to do as our duty is to share what the programs do. As you can see, there's the Anadarko Outreach, Dallas Outreach, Elderly Center, Grandparents Raising Grandchildren, Home Improvement, and the Oklahoma City Outreach. Every one of these are in there, right? Is there a second page to that? Okay. It was asked by the Business Committee, how'd you come about? They went looking for the records, and no record found. So it comes to this, Comanche Nation, one day we will have to come to Special Tribal Council, and we will have to discuss this. No longer can we afford, and that was what Amendment A was all about of our Constitution, to have somebody up here, either singularly or openly as a quorum, throw something on the ballot and say, vote on that. We're like, okay, can't do that no more. The Constitution's clear. It's clear. Tribal Council votes for those things. So, anyway, I'm so glad, like Ms. Toya Koya and everybody else, they brought forward their mission statements. okay? You can see them up there. If I was to read through all of these and through the full resolution, I'm calling upon the business committee to accept all of these nice mission statements for the record. For when we come to program review, when we come to program budgetary process, that we'll know the actual mission statements, we'll know we'll have a record of accord, we'll know we'll have a record of resolution number. And of this date, May 5th, 2018, we made this happen. So, business committee, could I have someone entertain a motion for resolution number, let me get my glasses back on. Resolution number 6818, 6918, 7018, 7118, 7218, and 7318. And that is the question to be answered by motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by our Secretary Treasurer to continue. I do need a second.
That's it.
Seconded by CBC Odyssey. All those in favor to group this great mission statements, and then we come to the total 100% compliance to it, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, that has passed. We come through K through 12, this higher education here. All right, there you guys are. I was talking to the TA about this, and the fact that we have the Education Center. And K through 12 at one time, was obligated to just hand out some gift cards, and that was kind of it. Now you guys have incorporated. Just give us a great briefing on that, could you?
Okay, I will. Because we have so many problems in our higher ed department with retention as freshmen, remediation in the first 2 years of college, we have to get to a place to where we're meeting our students at high school, middle school, and grade school levels. And so in order to do that, we have to be able to go into the schools, network with the schools, help build programs with those schools to raise our kids, the standards for our kids to where they're, I don't want to just say matching, but exceeding beyond what is normally expected for our students. And we're already doing that right now through a summer STEAM program, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. We're doing this summer. We did one during spring break. We did a leadership one, what was that, in the fall? But we've already done another. We're already servicing them. Why don't we just put it all together since we're already doing it? It's going to be phenomenal. These kids, we're going to be able to, the next CBC meeting, we're going to put in another resolution for the next step up, and it's going to be great. I think you guys are going to love it, and all of our parents will love it too.
Great,
So.
great. Thank you, thank you. And Bob and I were so old school, we just say STEM. We got to start putting arts in there now. It's STEAM. Robert, STEAM. We got to say STEAM now. Okay. So here it is, resolution number 7418. Whereas the tradition of sovereignty of the Comanche Nation since time immemorial long predates the existence of the nation, establishes the inherent sovereign powers and rights of the Comanche self-government. Whereas the Comanche Nation K through 12 student services will become a program under the Comanche Nation Higher Education Department to better assist Comanche students in kindergarten through post-secondary education. The merging of these two programs will provide enhanced academic opportunities and greater prospects for securing outside funding, and that's always the best. Wouldn't you agree, Billy Earl? Other people's money? Yeah, I like it. All right, by combining resources and staff. And whereas the Comanche Nation Higher Education Department will be able to provide the following services, tutoring, STEAM, not STEM, STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, activities, student leadership development, increased parent participation and involvement, college and post-secondary education preparation, advocacy for students and families within the school systems, and the ability to track student progress. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee hereby authorizes Comanche Nation K-12 Student Services to become a program under the Comanche Nation Higher Education Department, effective Monday, May 7th, 2018. That's it, CBC, a piece of legislation that makes a lot of sense. And I do need somebody to entertain a motion to that question.
I make the motion.
Motion made by the Secretary Treasurer,
I'll second that motion.
seconded by CBC Red All those in favor of resolution number 7418, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right. There we go. Good job. And Cornell, good job. All right. And Jimmy, good job. We've, there was a time, and I'm not going on no oratory tear here, but there's a time that 4 different chairmen under this man's watch said, we have to go to tiers. Let's go to tiers, education tier, cultural tier, let's go to our real meat of everything, we're social need tier, so we can have a firm foundation. Well, higher education, the education tier, the education department we have down there, Education Center, is finally becoming a great tier. So it's just turnkey to do it that way. Good job. All right. Resolution number 7518. I had a report that came from Dr. Pee Wee Wardy. Hopefully the CBC got it. I forwarded it to you. He had a meeting with the Cameron president. He brought forward many things. Also, on this resolution, I'm kind of amiss here. Jimmy, is this through whom? Through? Okay. All right. Do y'all have this collaboration, you and Doctor, on this one, or?
Yes, we've talked about, we visited.
Okay. All right, well, go on ahead and explain this one.
Okay. Is this the one with Indiana School?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I couldn't tell which one was
Okay.
which. Okay, this is a grant that we presented to Indiana Public Schools. It's through the U.S. Department of Education. It's a grant that is going to be their home grant.
Great.
Basically, our part that we want to play in it is just to help them set up their standards for the State Department through being able to identify places within the language, our Comanche language, that will be taught at their school.
Okay.
So basically we're just basically supporting them in this. Now there will come a time, which is hopefully in the next 30 days, where there is another grant that we will be housing our own selves.
Sure.
And that we're going to go after, and it's a little more than this one. This is about $280,000 per year for 5 years.
Great.
The one that we would like to go after, and we're talking to the TEDNA group about that, is a little bit more than that, and it's also for 5 years. And they are going to partner with this, so it's like we're partnering with them. They're going to partner with us, and also we're going to partner with Walter School as well. So what we're doing is we're trying to build partnerships with these schools, public school systems, so that we can present our culture and our traditions, and also be able to keep up with our own students academically.
Great.
So that's
about $55,000 a year at 5 years. So that's good.
No, it's 87,000 per year.
Oh, wow. I stand correct?
Yes, per year. So we're basically like a consultant to
Okay.
them. But this next one, maybe by the next CBC meeting, it's supposed to come out at the
Okay.
end of May. We'll have another resolution in for that one, which it will belong to our group.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
That's
All
more
right.
money than any whole public school has.
I know. I know,
But I have a
babe.
question. I
Yeah.
have a question, if you don't mind. We got about 3 or 4 language programs. why don't we put them all into the education department since it's a part of education? Because we're just doing different things like this, and, you know, it seems like we're doing a lot, but getting little. You know what I mean? If we put it under one program, they'll be all guided in one direction, everywhere, and I think it might be,
Totally agree.
yeah. Anyway, it's just a thought.
All right, I'm going to read this resolution on 7518.
It's got a question here,
Oh.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Sandra.
I just would like to mention, the other night I went to the Great Plains VOTEC. They had a signing for the new students. They'll be going in August to their programs. There were 55 students in the pre-engineering and welding program. There were 28 students, which my grandson is going to be a welder. So, but many of them were Indians, Native Americans, as a matter of fact, Comanches. So that might be a good touch base with the VOTEC school on our students that are Comanche that are going, because that's a lot of students to be in pre-engineering and welding.
It's a trade. It's a trade. That's a retirement. Great. All right. Whereas the Comanche Nation Constitution, the Comanche Nation Constitution establishes the CBC as a duly elected official body designated to conduct business. Whereas the Comanche Nation Higher Education Department will assist Indiahoma Public Schools by providing a letter of support and assistance in the development of educational curriculum associated with language and cultural Comanche components, linked together with Oklahoma State standards through the U.S. Department of Education grant entitled Native American and Alaska Native Children in School Program. Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance, which is CDFA on the acronym, number 84.365C, processed through Indiahoma Public Schools. And now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee hereby authorizes the Comanche Nation Higher Education Department to assist Indiahoma Public Schools in curriculum development for the Department of Education, Native American, and Alaska Native children, which is CDFA, and school program grant. That's what's before us, Business Committee, to move forward. I do need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by CBC Odyssey to continue,
I'll second that motion.
seconded by CBC Red Elk. Business Committee to approve resolution number 7518. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Good job. Okay, I remember this one. How many apply for Oklahoma Arts Council grant? It's usually powwow people, right? Okay. So anyway, they still have this money, right? Okay, all right. So here we come to resolution number 7618. Whereas the tradition of sovereignty of the Comanche Nation, since time immemorial, long predates the existence of the nation. It does establish the inherent sovereign power and rights of the Comanche self-government. Whereas the Comanche Nation Higher Education Department sees the need to educate and advance services to the school-age students related to academics and art, culture by developing and enhancing the STEAM, not STEM, STEAM program and incorporating further funding through the Oklahoma Arts Council 2 times per year. And whereas the Oklahoma Arts Council has funds available in the amount of $2,500 per grant award to accomplish this purpose. And whereas the tribal chairman or his designee is the official representative of the Comanche Nation and is authorized to negotiate and approve contracts and any amendments to such. And now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee hereby authorizes the submission of this grant application to the Oklahoma Arts Council. You guys got it done? They're pretty simple. Those are a run through. You have to grab one too. I think everybody should grab one. Anyway, to move on, resolution number 7618, I need someone to entertain that motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by
I'll vote for
CBC.
any grant.
All right, CBC Odyssey, need a second to continue?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Vice Chair Cawthorn. All those in favor of resolution number 7618, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Here's a grant application to the U.S. Department of Labor, Employment and Training Administration. Now, this is from the Grants Management Group. Are you guys here?
No, it's Mr. Booth.
Oh, okay, Justin. By the way, before you get started on this, Justin and I sat with the city manager. We're looking at Lawton. What does Lawton need? Lawton needs a lot of help. They don't have no money. They always, just like the state, nobody has money. So, you know, back in the day, CETA used to get us at Fort Sill. CETA used to get us in Lawton, taught us a trade and all that. And there was an Afro-American gentleman that got so many Native boys employed everywhere, you know, learned our work ethic there. And I remember John David was instrumental in the young people getting to work, you know, and yeah, having a job. It wasn't that much money, but it got us to work. Remember that OT? Yeah, we all was on CETA. Anyway, they had a pretty good plan for Justin and his group. And Justin, please explain this one, would you?
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're applying for the new WIOA grant, and it's a 4-year grant, and it's competitive. Up until this time, it hadn't been competitive, so you know, you just renew it every year. But this time we have to write a new plan. It's about 20 pages long. I'm halfway done with it, but it's due on the 18th. And with your permission, you know, we want to get it submitted, but it's to continue doing what we're doing with our youth and our adults, getting them to work and getting them trained, so.
Grants Department helping you out?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
All right.
Shannon.
All right, great.
I just want to mention that we recently graduated 10 phlebotomists through VOTEC, and Memorial Hospital's taken 3 of them. So our programs are working, and I'm kind of proud of, you know, everybody we help, so.
Sure. Great.
And summer youth is going to start up here pretty soon. So.
Great. Comanche Nation Enterprises is here and they used your services. How many Comanches we got, Comanche Nation Enterprises? Charter, how many Comanches are working?
8.
8. Before there was only 1. Give them a hand. There you go. Good. All right, here we go. Resolution number 7718.
I have a question.
Sure.
How many college graduates did we grad? I had a few relatives that graduated from Cameron. How many did we have graduated?
This year?
Yeah.
Commencement hasn't happened, has it?
About 140, something like that, and then we have the Associates of Applied Sciences as well, in addition to that, and vocational graduates as well. And our banquet is coming up, your next meeting, that same day.
Is it really?
Yes,
God.
that evening. It's in the evening.
Is it gonna go down here again, or?
No, it's at the Apache Casino.
Oh, okay.
One of our education center staff members graduated last night.
All
Don
right.
Sotelo.
All right. Commencement was last night?
Yes.
Okay, all right, here we go.
Oh, and our librarian,
All right, here we
Jordan
go.
Mack.
A lot of people don't know this. We have a testing center. There are Texas teachers. You know, they have a pretty big test they have to take for a certification. It's done right here at our Comanche Nation Education Center. You know, we're dynamics. We're getting dynamic, getting there. All right. Resolution number 7718. Whereas the Comanche Nation sees the critical need to provide employment and training services to Native American tribal members who are unemployed, underemployed, or low income, so that they may become economically self-sufficient and able to move into the middle class. And I don't know if there's a middle class anymore. Anyway, my opinion. Okay. And whereas the U.S. Department of Labor, Employment and Training Administration has monies available in the amount of $62 million. And what the gentleman spoke to is competitive, so we got to be spot on. So $62 million to fund approximately 176 total Native American tribal grantees, which would mean tribal entities, federally recognized tribes, for up to a 4-year period to accomplish this purpose. And whereas a tribal chairman or his designee in the official or the official representative of the Comanche Nation and is authorized to negotiate and approve contracts and any amendments to such. Now, therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee does hereby approve the submission of this grant application to the U.S. Department of Labor, Employment and Training Administration, Office of Grants Management. And be it further resolved that the CBC, acting for and on behalf of the Comanche Nation, does hereby authorize this resolution for such intent. Real quick question, Justin. When is it due again?
May 18th,
Okay. That day or before?
about 5 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay.
But I'm gonna get it done, a couple days before.
Okay. Any questions on this?
It's gonna be about 200,000 per year, so it's about an $800,000 grant.
Okay, very good. Business Committee, barring no questions, could I please have someone entertain a motion to move forward?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by CBC Odyssey. I need a second to continue.
Second it.
Seconded by CBC Poway. Resolution number 7718 is before you. All those for it, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right. Jared, we got something here about the tribal court. What are we doing here?
We currently have already in existence from previous resolution in operating accounts with the Liberty National Bank for the children's court. And we use that for fines and fees separate from what we get from the gaming. This is just a formality that we have to submit to the bank, because now that we are the tribal court, I want to change the name of the account from children's court account to tribal court, so this is just.
That's why I'm asking. We had one resolution, you're just changing the name, sir.
Yeah, we're not creating any new accounts, it's changing the name.
Very good. All right, resolution number 7818 for us to go into business-like format on this account pursuant to Article 6, Section 7J of the Comanche Nation Constitution to promulgate and enforce ordinance and codes governing law and to protect the peace, health, safety, and general welfare on our land, which is our tribal jurisdiction. Whereas the CBC created account 500-92831. Can you strike that from the record? Sorry, shouldn't have been in there. I'm just reading. Hopefully on live stream, can you strike that? Justin, give me we need to strike that from the live stream if you can, if you could backtrack that. Next time we write a resolution like this, please mark through that, please. All right. Moving forward. This accounts with Liberty National Bank pursuant to resolution number 31-11 entitled Comanche Children's Court Account. And the Comanche Business Committee placed all matters previously under the Comanche Children's Court before the Comanche Nation Tribal Court pursuant to resolution number 4018. Now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee does hereby approve the Liberty National Bank account number 0 entitled Comanche Children's Court Account to be renamed as Comanche Nation Tribal Court Operating Account. Bottom line, we're changing the name Comanche Children's Court to Comanche Nation Tribal Court Operating Account. Be it further resolved that the CBC, acting for and on behalf of the Comanche Nation, does hereby authorize this resolution for such intent. For the record, Business Committee, to make this action happen.
Can I make one, comment?
Sure.
When we cite the account, it's smart to say XXXX.
Yes, 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 yes.
So there is that account.
Yes.
And sometimes we can get by putting the last two, like 31, XXXX31.
Duly noted. I do need a motion to continue this.
I make a motion to accept resolution 78-18.
Okay, motion made by the Vice Chair I need a second to continue, please.
I'll second.
Seconded by CBC Odyssey. All those in favor for resolution number 7818, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay. Now we go to court costs. This is resolution number 3111 And it says here, be it resolved, the CBC hereby allows the Comanche Children's Court to establish a separate account entitled Comanche Children's Court Account. Now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee hereby allows the Comanche Children's Court to collect court costs from litigants for court services in the amount of $35 for deposit. Now therefore be it resolved that a receipt will be written to the person paying the court costs, with the original receipt being given to that person, a copy of said receipt being furnished to the finance department along with the funds on a daily basis. Now therefore be it resolved that the court clerk, court administrator, is to keep on accounting for said funds deposited with the court to be reconciled on a monthly basis and maintain a record of the funds received and expenditures from said account. Jimmy, are you separating Finley and Cook to outsource from this, or?
This resolution's on here as attachment to the bank account showing that it was, so it's not, it's.
Is this the old one?
Yeah, that's the one showing what created the account.
That's the original.
How many times have we amended this thing?
We haven't.
Okay.
That's just to change the name. It's from the, to show you that's the account. Just to.
Yeah, check up on the XXX. Okay, CIP approval. CIP, are you here? Jimmy, what can you tell me about Uniflex elastomeric roof coating?
Let me look at this. Give me a second.
It is the funeral home. Are they just outsourcing?
Oh, yeah, that's all it is. Well, no, it's just because it's over that, threshold that needs a resolution. They're going to be putting that new type of roof, which is a rubber coating that we've been using. Yeah, over the funeral home's roof.
Same what we got up here?
No, it's a new type. It's a new type of roof.
All right, here we go. All right. The Comanche Business Committee is duly elected to create this to happen. The Comanche Nation Funeral Home located at 2701 Southwest J Ave. The Uniflex elastomeric, cool, I think that's how you say it. Elastomeric, okay, roof coating system will seal all leaks in the roof and provide the roof with more energy efficiency. Whereas the CBC is authorized to approve Comanche Nation Funeral Home funding under current approved Comanche Nation tribal government property and procurement policies and procedures by resolution number 02216. So on that resolution of old, we had a set amount. So be it further resolved that the Comanche Business Committee approves the Comanche Nation Funeral Home funding for the Uniflex roof coating and authorizes the approval of the contract submitted to Capital Improvement Department of Wilson's Coating in the amount of $54,353. That consists of a 1-year contractor's warranty. So T, I believe we follow procurement policy all to the T on this, 3 bids, all that. Okay, Business Committee, we got 7918 to conduct business here. Need a motion to continue with that.
Make the motion.
Motion made by our Secretary Treasurer to continue. I need a second, please.
Second it.
Seconded by CBC Poway. All those in favor to approve resolution number 7918, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. All right. There we go. All right. There was two secretarial elections we had in this past 2017, 2018. These items here, we finally got everything back from the federal government, the Bureau. You know, Bob and I, we always go into a dissertation of what the duty is of the federal government. Well, they have a duty. As long as the wind blows and the grass grows and the sky is blue. So we always know that our Constitution has to be recognized as a federal document. So what this is a resolution of those amendments that did pass to be added and amended to this Constitution. The Native American Rights Fund, which keeps our Constitution on record for the whole world to see, will be sent this new certified. This is it. This is the certification of such. So, here we go. Resolution number 8018, whereas the Comanche Constitution, Article 6, Section 7, establishes the CBC as a duly elected official body to designate to conduct business. Whereas the Tribal Council is the boss. A secretarial election in accordance with the Federal Regulations 25, Code of Federal Regulations, Part 81, was successfully conducted on March 21st, 2018. Now therefore be it resolved, the election amended the Comanche Nation Constitution. And be it further resolved, the attached Comanche Nation Constitution dated March 21st, 2018 is approved with the approved amendment, Article 5, Tribal Council Powers Clause. Amendment, Article, the duties of officers, Section 1 is shown on the attached certificates of results of election. Business Committee, to put this in the record book of law, our Constitution, our court law. We move on this, it is the law. Resolution number 8018 is before you. I need a motion to accept this.
I make the motion.
Motion is made by the Secretary Treasurer,
I'll second it.
seconded by Susan Cawthorn. Business Committee to approve resolution number 8018. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Thank goodness we've got this, and the Miners Trust. We have a meeting, and I want everybody to know about it. We're having a meeting. Hopefully, it's about more money for our miners with the banks. By the way, is Comanche Nation Enterprises there? Oh, you guys talking so loud we can't hear nothing. No, I'm glad you're here, guys. We're gonna have you on new business. So we're gonna go to just 3 yes or no's on this. I'm just gonna go to the therefore be it. All it is aesthetics. Aesthetics, it is. We've got, and I can't come out here and just, we got to take care of business. Number one, the Constitution gives us duties. We're supposed to get audits from all sources, at all times. All I'm asking for on this part right here, it's resolution number 8218. It is on the agenda. What it's saying today, the Comanche Nation Business Committee moves to appoint a smoke shop board that shall consist of 3 members that are not elected business committee members. 3 members to be appointed will have to have strong retail and wholesale backgrounds. All I'm asking for on this is approval for us to get RFP out there. I'm calling on the Comanche Nation world that might have that wholesale retail experience. 3-member board. And that's what's being brought forward. Be it finally resolved, the CBC, acting for and on behalf of the Comanche Nation, does hereby authorize this resolution for such intent. So be it. So Business Committee, resolution number 8218 is before you. I need a motion to continue.
I think we ought to table it.
Well, it needs to come to a yes or no. We don't have a budget for this, and we don't have an audit from last year.
You do have a budget for this. Mr. Tippecanoe has had it, and the audit's being conducted now. Has been.
You got a budget?
Well, you've seen it,
Yes.
it's been presented to you.
That's
On
a
the
profit
first
and loss
year.
statement.
No, on the back of it, you have to look on the back, it does have a budget.
I haven't
It
seen it.
details, you haven't seen
I
it?
haven't seen it.
I'm sure it was provided at the same time. Anyway, there is that, and they are underway with an audit.
All right, well, it's hard to do business if we don't have no reports on this. So this is coming forward. You guys can vote yes, you can vote no. It's got to come forward.
Well, we have did you make a motion?
I make a motion, no.
Make a
She
motion,
said,
no?
vote yes or no, I say no. We don't need a board.
Well, we have a board now.
That's good.
They're elected officials.
Stay, leave everything the same.
All right, please go to a voice vote on this, sir.
Explain the vote again, Mr. Tippecanoe.
The vote is to accept 8218, yes. To oppose it, no.
Okay.
Susan Cothran,
No.
Robert Tippecanoe, no. Johnson Pelway,
Okay, I'm not clear on what the, was the yes and the no. I didn't hear.
okay, excuse me, the yes is you approve 8218, which is establishing or proposing the establishment of a new board. We have an existing board, so it obviously would replace the existing board. No is you're against this.
To leave it as is.
What it is basically, excuse me, what it is basically, Willie don't want us on them boards. That's why he brought this resolution up. He wants us off the board and put people he wants on the board.
Yes.
That's basically what it is.
All right, sir.
We already have a board.
Keep your
for these items
keep your
you
personal feelings in your pocket. We're
It's
here for
not personal
business.
feelings,
We're for
business.
business. We're
The
for
business
business
item.
here. This is business. Keep your personal agendas outside.
Mr. Pelway? Yes or no?
Wish I would have had more time to think about this, but,
We can move the table to next month, guys. I mean,
Abstain.
We already called for a vote.
all right.
Finish the vote.
It's to keep us
Well, if we
fair.
had a actual audit done, I'd be happy with this. We haven't even had an audit done.
An
So.
audit is being conducted.
The fiscal year ended October 2017.
Well, no
man.
one asked for an audit. You did it and neither did the secretary treasurer.
The Constitution calls for it from any revenue source. We get an audit.
I'm sorry, we're only human and humans make errors. I think you should know that.
Okay, we're into the vote. So where are we at?
Where Mr. Pelway, we're waiting for his yes or no. And this is 8318, remember the resolution?
Oh, it's, yeah.
8318. Mr. Pelway?
I'll call my name while you're thinking.
Eddie Odyssey?
No.
Ronald Redout?
Yes.
Clyde? Well, he's not here. Mr. Pelway, await your vote.
Oh, come on. No coaching from the audience. Come on.
this is my vote. I got to vote.
Eddie already asked to table it, and y'all, I know.
Finish the vote.
I mean, I don't want another board created. I vote yes.
We have 3 noes and 2 yes.
Well, I'm a tiebreaker. There ain't no tie, so I guess what continue on is Cothran, Odyssey, and Narcomi to be over these smoke shops.
Yes, at this point in time.
All right, that's what's gonna happen. All right, the resolution number 8318 is no longer 8318, correct? It's what, 8418?
Yes.
Okay.
And you have them in your packet.
All right, all right.
8418.
I believe this one, that needs to be tabled. I wish somebody entertained a motion to table this.
Which one, 8418?
Yes, 8418. Well, there's something going on with the gaming commission. We really need to understand it full-heartedly on this.
I make a motion to table.
Motion to tables on the floor. Need a second.
8418.
8418.
You can table it or go into executive session?
Let's just table it.
Table. I made the motion already, table.
Sir, can I ask what were resolutions 8118 and 8218 are? Because we're
I
on
think they've
83
been
and 84.
moved.
They're realty, they're for executive session discussion.
Just wondering.
Yeah, there's some folks rather not have their names. They're Comanche members with land, so.
Can you tell us who's on the current board now for the bank?
Susan Cawthorn, Eddie Arce, and Clyde Narcomi.
Sir,
Yes.
point of information. So with them voting to stay on the board in which they already sit on, is that even showing integrity as members?
Guys, you know, I pray for decorum. I
But
pray
you
for
sit on these boards.
I pray for decorum and professionalism, and let's stay there. Okay.
I have a question.
Do we still have a motion?
Willie put us on these boards.
Young
He's
lady.
the one put us on the board. We
If
didn't
I
have,
was to sit on the board, I want to continue to keep on drawing.
Do you have a
I can
motion?
also have a say.
Yes, I made a motion.
Okay, do we have a second
To
to?
table 8418?
Yeah?
Yes.
You want to second that?
Second it.
Second it? Okay. All those in favor to table 8418, please signify by saying aye.
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 God. Eddie, table? Okay. All those opposed, same sign. All right. Gray areas. We can't have gray areas. No gray areas. It comes to really, our Gaming Commission ordinance is specific. The nation recognizes the ordinance is the importance of an independent commission in maintaining well-regulated gaming. The commission shall act independently and autonomously from the CBC in the enforcement of regulatory matters. It has to, within its purview. Okay. So, let's move to, now Rick Grellner, I sent you an email, Rick Grellner, and I sent you an email and I said, why is all the work we did at Ryan, Oklahoma not on the actual briefs that you submitted in the 10th Circuit Court in Denver, Oklahoma? I mean, Denver, Colorado. I wish there was a Denver, Oklahoma. Anyway, now I'm just gonna be politely like we're on a couch in someone's house, talking good sense here. We had an encroachment from a neighboring tribe. We seen that there were some problems. We beseech God himself, and not in a blasphemous type of sense. What do? And it comes to, there are some laws that says you can't do such things. So we reached out to try to find a great family that had the furthest east allotment in our jurisdiction. And this good family came forward and said, yes, we can help you with that, but you better lease it from us. So we try to lease it. So we did all these steps to say we might try to attempt gaming in a very remote location, to stop an encroachment, or better yet, to make standing of what we're going to talk about in this court, which is one step away from the Supreme Court. Now, people have heard me talk about this and talk about it. The CBC members, we talk about it all the time. And we met up a whole year ago, and it's been nothing but a lot of pushback, a lot of setback from the federal government. When I mentioned earlier in this meeting, they have a duty to us, a duty. Our ancestors stopped fighting for that duty to our nation. With that said, sir, we had the same family here that was really getting tired of it. Because any of us that own land, that had somebody put something on our land, we would expect rent, correct? Rent. And I do not blame this family for feeling that way, but I'm curious. And I know you gave me an answer, but it's not the answer that we need. because we had to use finances to do this. And it wasn't very much. And we haven't put gaming down there. But it's time to just come to black and white on this thing. Sir, I've got a resolution before us that says the federal solicitor, he has no opinion. And in turn, they want us to try to create another lease with this family to go through the same one-year process again. And I ask you, sir, could you put this in your briefs for this 10th Circuit hearing? Today, I've got to ask this legal quorum, no action can happen unless a legal quorum is in assembly by a notated constitutional meeting time. I've got to ask the question to remove, disband, get away from any more cost to this ideology just due to the fact that we've gone through at least 60 steps already. So I'm asking upon my colleagues, I'm going to bring this forward, but this is the last time, Rick, please tell this government, please tell the people that is the power over this government, do we keep a trailer on Ryan, Oklahoma, Comanche allotment property of the Sophia Kamakura folks?
Thank you, Chairman. Everybody knows the history of this. The issue with the Ryan allotment is having standing to object to the Terrell Casino. And that's all tied up in litigation. But without having standing, you cannot bring a suit to effectuate your rights. And there's several different statutes that we're bringing our claims under. But one of the statutes is the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, which says that if it's not a Class 3 gaming, we have Class 3 gaming at Red River, you have to be within 25 miles. Well, that was the reason that the Ryan allotment was so important, is because it's only 11 miles away from the Terrell Casino on the Red River. Is if they just put in Class 2 games down there, they could claim that it doesn't affect our Class 3 compact. So we needed something for standing down there to be able to object. So what happened is to try and move forward to try to locate this allotment. We understand that it's more about protecting our Red River than it is about building some giant casino down there. But we moved forward to try to protect that, and that involved dealing with these allottees. Well, we went through a process through September, and just yesterday, and you have it in your inbox, Chairman, I have a letter from the Bureau of Indian Affairs where they've sent out a final lease and want a re-execution of the lease to go back to them. This is their lease, not our lease submitted, so that the tribe and the family can enter into an arrangement. Now, with respect to our briefs in the 10th Circuit, the reason why this allotment is important is because the government, in their final response, said you have no standing under a different statute, the National Environmental Policy Act. Our response was, yes, we do have standing, because if we have an allotment or a trust asset down there, the government, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, in their own departmental manual, says they have to consult with us, okay? And because they have to consult with us down there, that gives us standing under that statute, along with the fact that we have standing under AGRA. The whole thing is important from a legal standpoint for standing. Otherwise, we get bounced out and we can't defend our market from encroachment. So that's where we are. The lease is on the table. It's been submitted from the BIA, their final approval, and so the committee needs to decide to move forward or not.
All right, there we go. I was in Anadarko talking to Realty, the regional, he's a man from Standing Rock Reservation, Mr. Schock. He's the regional director. All I can suggest, CBC, we got it before us. I don't need to go to it. Now this 30-day at the last minute new lease thing, kind of thing, you know, Friday thing. We're going to get this 30 days. We're going to get this 30 days.
Chairman,
swearing in real quick. The only thing that's required is your signature and signature.
I get it. My signature was on the last lease. It'd go to fruitation. So, here we are, right?
Here we are.
Okay. We cannot continue, how many have ever seen the show Never Ending Story? Never Ending Story, We cannot continue this never ending story. Please tell me, when is our court date in Denver? When is this?
It has not been set yet.
Secretary Treasurer, you and I have discussed this. Everybody's discussed this. We argue about it all the time. What's your feeling, sir? Because you have a perspective that I think the audience needs to hear.
Well, on this, as explained here by our counsel, we need standing. Standing is very important. You can't enter into a matter in the court without that standing. In this case, we're saying the standing is the fact that we have this area that's leased with potential gaming activity upon it. That's our standing. And as it's mentioned here, it's short distance, 11 miles or so from the one that we're challenging. And then there's other matters within this. We have to come forward to say, was consultation done appropriately? Because that's another matter within the law, that if we have this standing, then consultation should have occurred. And as we know, consultation has yet to occur. So I think these points are very critical to staying within the court proceeding, and hopefully, when it comes about there in Denver, Colorado,
Yes.
that we have something that's stated in our interest. This is very significant. You can't allow something to disrupt, the ventures or the activity that we have upon the Comanche Nation, or Kiowa Apache, I call it, reservation. So it's a matter of our sovereignty. It's a matter of for the benefit of all of Comanche Nation members, we stand with this court circumstance. And I say at this moment, yes, I have ups and downs about it, because I feel sometimes we're putting something out in a very remote area. If you've ever been to Ryan, it's not a metropolitan area. You'd be lucky to say it's an area. But anyway, we're there, and we have this facility, and we have the potential of gaming in a facility, so we have this standing. I just say at this point, even though I have questioned keeping a facility out there for people to break in and rob, because it takes protection of it. Law enforcement has to be there on occasion, regularly, I would say, to protect our assets. So it's been a little up and down in some respect, but I think overriding all of that is we have to do this, we have to be there for standing in the pending case that's forthcoming.
I have a thought. Our intent was, to start with, another tribe was putting a casino down there, so we wanted to put ours there first. Because you put yours there first, they can't put one within a 25-mile radius. So that's the intent we tried to do, was put that in Ryan, get it started like a casino, so they couldn't do theirs. But these people have so much money and so much power that they just do things. They don't follow the rules. So that's our initial intent, was to stop them from building there, because we wanted to build there. But they just went ahead, even when we followed suit, they just keep going. So this suit is important, because the rules say they can't. But you know how the law is, money talks and everything, so, but I'm hoping that was our intent, to stop them so we could build one there. That's the intent of it. And I say, you can't stop a horse race in the middle of the race. You gotta keep going to see what happens. And that's the way I feel. We're already in there, we're already in the court, we're already waiting for them to make a decision. Why stop now? I mean, that's my feeling on it.
Okay.
Do we not have, in the casino, do we not have anything there that states that the CBC is in charge of all that goes on in the casino? Or is it just the CEO of the gaming commission, or who's got the full control of the casino?
We have total oversight, but we're not micromanagers.
The people own that casino.
Yes, I agree.
Every casino that we have.
It's
we
based
own
off
that.
every CDIB, carry and Comanche. Yes, I agree.
Well, we want more control in that casino from the people to the CBC to implement rules that they're not following.
Right here, we have a full gaming commission that is the full regulation autonomy power. Go right ahead, Julian.
Just to answer the gentleman's question, there are two entities that regulate and manage gaming, all the industries.
Can you speak up?
There are two entities that manage and regulate gaming for the tribe. The first is Comanche Nation Enterprises. That is the managerial body of the day-to-day operations, the local control of the facilities themselves. The second body that oversees the quality of gaming is the regulatory aspect, which is the Comanche Nation Gaming Commission. I am one of the gaming commissioners on the gaming commission. The regulatory aspect is solely about if there's problems, they come to our board and we decide what regulation says in accordance to the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act.
We're recently, well, even right now, we're undergoing change in the casino at the Red River Casino. And it's undergoing change because there's a lot of things that's going on in there that shouldn't be going on in the casino. One thing is, they don't have a rule in there that says that they have to hire so many X amount of Comanches in there. But the Comanches that they do hire, they eventually fire them and get rid of them. All the upper people in the casino are Tawas, or Tawas.
We have a law on the books called Comanche First. That goes to every entity, even Comanche Nation Enterprise.
They already recognize the Comanche preference. When they're doing a hire, or they're changing the system, they don't do a Comanche preference. That should be the law.
Well, the law of the land is Comanche First. That is a law.
That's right. They don't follow it.
All right, Charles.
So we need to strengthen our rules for the casino, and just reach out and take a hold of it.
Okay, Gabby, before you go on, Rick, I'm gonna retract, but boy, we're gonna be spot on every 30 days. We're gonna bring it forward right here every 30 days. Because these last minute things, you know, we can't have a never ending story. So I retract this resolution, okay? Gabby, you got a question?
Okay, CBC, and I don't know about the Gaming Commission, but they probably already went over this. Is there any possibility that we can buy that land at Ryan, or I mean, I know you probably went through it again, or what's costing us not to buy it? They don't want to sell it, or we ain't got enough money, or what is the deal? Can we look at it again?
Well, why don't you drive with me down there and I'll tell you all about it. But I'm gonna tell you what it is. On this side, on the north side, we've got this like, I don't know, it looks like a hillbilly camp. I'm sorry, but it's a hillbilly camp. Over here, we got some beautiful land owned by the Comanche allotment, okay? It kind of looks down to the Red River, okay? All right? They don't ever want to sell their land. They do not. But they wanted to make sure the nation wasn't going to get blindsided by a neighboring tribe. So they allowed us to try to lease 5 acres. Now we've had pushback all the way around. And I guess it's pushback due to the fact we're taking who to task? The Department of the Interior. Who owns the BIA? The Department of the Interior.
So that's the answer. They don't want to sell. That's the answer.
Well, I don't want to, that's a private question. Yes, Beverly?
Okay, I don't really know what's this is all, well, I kind of know, but consultation is the main thing. If they haven't consulted with whoever needed to be consulted with in the very beginning, then that's, should be out.
It's almost every step the BIA tells us to do, we do it, then they tell us do something else. We do that, then we have to do something else, and we do that. Oh, you didn't do that right, then we do it, then it's.
So what's the
simple
other tribe,
steps.
who's the other tribe that's trying to do a bingo down there?
Oh, where? Where?
Who's trying to make
A casino.
a casino down there? What are the?
Oh, they've been open for 9 weeks.
They already got it
Oh,
open.
my goodness.
They're
Well,
open 9 weeks. They built a brand new road from Warrico all the way down to Bowie, Texas.
okay. I'd like to see it.
All I can say is maybe ask them again, because our lot in the casino, that Kirky property, we sent Virgil Toxic to buy the land, and Willie Kirky told him no. So we were gonna close the meeting, so I said, well, send Crusoe Tolman down there. So Crusoe went to talk to Willie Kirky, he come back and said he wants to sell. So, you know, we still might have a, but anyway, the reason is because Willie Kirky said he knew his father and he was an honest man. Well, anyway, don't give up, that's all I can say. Try to buy it.
It's just been a long process.
Yeah.
All right. We've got new and old business. I need the Comanche Nation Enterprises, the charter to, what?
I'd like to make one,
Oh, yeah.
amendment here
Go ahead.
about the, what we just covered. Because if you look at the agenda, it's an executive session, and we didn't move to put it outside executive.
Well, we need this one, and most
Yeah,
of
but
them.
I do think it should have,
No,
no?
no,
No,
Just let it ride?
Yeah,
let it
one's
ride.
retracted,
Let it
one's
ride.
tabled,
Okay, let's go.
You gotta have open meetings, right? Let's have open meetings. So, Mr. Red Elk, before we quit, I believe Mr. Red Elk came with the solution. We're -2 gaming commissioners. We're -2 gaming commissioners. We've been operating with 2, and they need an alternate, and thank goodness Mr. Valdez, he's worked in an interim gaming commission capacity. Once again, I've asked since, 16 months ago, can folks just throw their resumes up here at the tribe? Say you got some gaming experience, say you want to help the nation. We sure need some help on the gaming commission. We need some help. What you are, you're overseeing the operation of them regulating everything in gaming. It's a hard job. Young senator here, it's a hard job. So on this right here, I don't know, Mr. Red Oak, are you willing to read this before we go to new and old business?
What is that, B-E-I-T?
It's called BID.
BID.
And you are a principal of a public school system. But guess what?
I didn't have-
BID is for politicians, so. there you go.
Therefore, BID, the Comanche Nation Gaming Ordinance calls for a gaming commission that comprises of 3 seated appointments with terms of 3 years. Their title, once appointed, will be gaming commissioners. The gaming ordinance also calls for an appointed gaming commissioner to be appointed for a term of 3 years. Today, the gaming commission is -1 appointment for gaming commissioner and 1 appointment for alternate gaming commissioner. And be it further resolved, the Comanche Nation Gaming Ordinance is specific, Part 300, Section 301B of the CNN Gaming Ordinance is specific. The nation recognizes the importance of an independent commission in maintaining well-regulated gaming. The commission shall act independently and autonomously from the CBC in enforcement of regulatory matters within its purview. And now, therefore, be it resolved, the business committee moves to appoint Clifford Takawana, and Jean Red Elk.
There it is. Motion to move on this. Swearing in, would have to go through background, and what else they have to go through, Julian? Julian?
We have to vote.
Pardon?
Don't we vote?
Yeah, hold on. Motion, do what now?
They'll be going through the licensing process.
Okay.
Background checks.
Okay.
Can I say something after reading that? As you've probably gathered, I've got a relative that I brought forward, and Susan has a relative that I brought forward. I've been on this committee a year now, and we have been with one or two commissioners, and not one name has come across with nominations. In fact, we had somebody from Kansas on the commission, and that was really out of order if you want to save money. But these two gentlemen, one has extensive gaming experience. He started with the bingo and worked up into his retirement. The other one has no experience, but I think a lot of this individual's integrity, honesty, and he's smart. Now, I can't say that for my brother, but if you do something long enough, you're bound to gain some experience. And I will not vote for him. I'm bringing this forward because both of those gentlemen said that they would like to serve the nation.
Is it the CBC that nominates, or puts and nobody else?
Before it used to be kind of like a chairmanship rule, but no, the Constitution says we do it in a quorum. Okay, Gabby, hold on. All right, it's before us. I need a motion to continue this to a voice vote. We already heard an abstention in it, but I need someone to entertain a motion to move on this.
I have a question.
Sure.
Since we brought this out in the public, maybe we ought to wait and see who else applies. That's what I think. I think we should table this for 1 month to see if anybody else applies, because I always hear a lot of people tell me, I didn't know y'all needed this. I didn't know that job was open. I didn't know this was going on. You know, our people don't know what's going on here. Just a few people get the jobs and get the
These aren't really jobs. These are duties. These are duties.
Since we put it out in public, I'll make a motion that we table this for 1 month.
It's already been read,
and see what
sir.
nominations we have coming in.
Sir, it's already been read. And Julian has a full-time job within the education system of Oklahoma. He's getting ran ragged. And the thing is, we need to move. We just need to move. We talk all the time. That's what I always talking. Quit talking. Let's move. We're here to action.
Well, even if it's read, you can table it. Yes.
I second it.
So do you need retirees only now? If he's
got a
already got
question.
a
Go
job
ahead,
that's too
sir.
busy?
I don't really have a question, I just have a statement to make. That whoever does the background checks, do your due diligence and make sure who you're checking out is who they really are and what they have behind them. Please. It's simple. Anybody can do it.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if you're saying Julian's busy, and I know everybody needs a job, but and that's how I feel about the CBC. I think we need mature people on the CBC that can just work and not worry about their job. But this is the thing that these people need to consider. It's busy, especially cleaning up the mess from the past.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you accept the position, then you know that that's what you have to do, is concentrate on Comanche business. I don't care if you're on the board or what, it's our business.
Okay, well, I read this, the gentleman read the statement. I'm asking for a motion to go forward.
We do have a motion to table.
We got a motion to table? Is that your
And we had a
motion?
second.
Yes.
And do we have a second?
Yeah, we had a second.
Okay, and who seconded that?
I did.
Okay. Did you get all that? Well, I'll be done. Okay. Motion to table. All those in favor to table signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right. One opposition, okay. I abstain, I never have a vote. We're gonna move to new and old business at this time. Something very important needs to come forward. We're talking about encroachment, about lost money. Gabby, I'll get to you after this, okay? So we'd like to call for Comanche Nation Enterprises. Please come forward. Please come forward. Bring your whole crew, introduce them. Hold on, Gabby, I'll get right to you.
Got a handout here for you.
Do y'all got something for the audience?
Introduce them, because we don't know them.
Yeah. And Ken, as we start this off, okay, as we start this off, the audience, that you're on live stream, we got people watching you from Switzerland. So, introduce them, tell them what you guys are doing.
Introduce your people.
Yes, hello, my name's Ken Belmard. I'm on the board of directors for Comanche Nation Enterprises. This is Willie Pica, Jim Tidar, Aaron Bowe, Conrad Gailey, Daniel Robles, and Vincent Ponkawachi is walking around here somewhere. So there he is. So we are the enterprise board of your Section 17 charter government, or charter entity. About 15 years ago, the tribe set up a Section 17, which is to do business. That's what our job is. And in December of last year, early December, we were put on this board. And since that time, we have been endeavoring in our jobs to make sure that the businesses that operate under Comanche Nation Enterprises are operated appropriately, operated for profit. So with that being said, I'd like to take this opportunity, thank you for, we're going to make a short presentation. If you'll go to the next slide, please. So this is what our mission is. Our mission is to provide economic development potential for the Comanche Nation and to employ Comanche Nation citizens. That's what the charter is set up to do. That's what we are charged with doing, and that's the job that we take very seriously. So through the efforts of our board members here, we have 2 acquisition potentials that we would like to present today. Next slide, please. So these are related to 2 different properties. There's a property, we call it the cash property, which is the one that would be on your right, which at this time consists of 5 acres. We have another property, which we call the Medicine Park, 80 acres. These are 2 properties which at this time we actually have the potential to purchase those properties. We've negotiated the price, we've negotiated and signed the contracts. Now those contracts are contingent, so there are certain things that have to happen, but if things happen the way we've set these up for, we would acquire these properties. Next slide, please. So this gives you an idea of where this property is related to cash. It's near an intersection. It already has an existing facility on it, and so we have the right to purchase that property at this time. Sir, did you have a question?
Yes, didn't we purchase that property before?
That's what I thought, we owned it.
No, not that.
That we bought that property from Mr. Rao? And then the property behind that is 80 acres that we bought from Mr. Rao? And we had a contract on that station right there.
I don't know what happened before, but I know that the tribe doesn't own that 5 acres. Mr. Rao owns that 5 acres, but we have it under contract potentially to purchase. Now, one thing, and Willie can speak to this, if you'll notice, you'll see a little dot on there. right in that area, there's a lagoon. We need to get rid of that lagoon. To get rid of that lagoon, we need to tie into the city services with cash. And so Willie, if he might speak to that for just a moment.
Yeah, what we did, we contacted Cash to let them know our intentions of building on his property and let them know, basically what we needed. So when we did that, we contacted the mayor, told him cheat of Cash. He's willing, because he wants, the property to be developed, but they are willing to help us out with infrastructure, water and sewer. So that's a big plus for us. And that'll help us grow. Okay,
What was the original concept behind
say a
that?
few things?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say it's an honor and privilege to be here among our leaders and get up and speak. I've been the mayor of Cache for 10 years now. I've got 2 more years left on my term, and I've been a city leader for 12 years now, because I've been on the board, 2 years prior to that. City government operates a lot different than tribal government. We operate solely, well, there's 2 entities. 1, the city of Cache. 2, Cache Public Works Authority, which is where we get our water from, and things like that. So, and when they talked to me about this proposal at first, I thought, hey, that's, a great opportunity for economic development, a great opportunity for employment for our Comanche Nation. This past week, I've been going to training, and I went to the Officer Down Memorial out at Arce, New Mexico. I'm a law enforcement officer. I've been a public servant for 22 years. So, having that said, I thought about this over and over, and I thought, what could the city of Cache offer these gentlemen? And then I thought, in return, what could this offer the city of Cache? Not the community. The community, in my mind, the community itself, that is a great opportunity. And then I think, as the mayor of Cache, what benefit does it bring to the city? Right now, where that sits, that smoke shop that was there, they don't pay taxes, they don't pay fuel taxes. The city of Cache doesn't benefit from that right there at this point. It doesn't. We don't sell brown water. We don't have sewer service to him. He has the lagoon. So what I did as the mayor was push water under that highway and took it north. Because initially the city of Cache didn't have water running across that highway. It is in the city limits. There was no water out there. They had well water, which is what he operates on now. So on the city side of things, we're willing and able to provide services as far as sewer and water. We can do that. It's doable. I've got water across the street. I just bore into the road and give it to them. The thing that concerns me is the city of Cache, like I said, it solely operates, their general budget operates on sales tax dollars. Everybody knows sales tax dollars are down. We get tobacco, fuel tax, grocery tax. I know when I first started, we would average anywhere from $22,000 to $26,000 a month. Over the years of preparing budgets and controlling law enforcement and things like that, the things that money to pull out of that general budget, it's expensive. I've got a 5-man police department out there that I pay $200,000 a year to in salaries alone. We have to support our public servants, and that we don't give them enough. So the last few years, our sales taxes went way down. So it's hard for our general budget to operate. The Cache Public Works Authority, on the other hand, does better because their income is on water. Just bring the water up, we sell it, we get, that's how they fund. But we can't, the city of Cache itself can't take money out of that Public Works Authority. So if we don't have sales tax dollars, the city of Cache doesn't have money to operate. And the sales tax are down. So I see great things there. It's gonna benefit the community as a whole. And I truly believe if we, hire our people to run it and operate it and work it, that it's beneficial for our community, especially out west. We don't have a whole lot out west. I heard the chairman earlier talk about meeting with the city of Lawton and their needs. Well, I got 2 board members sitting right here that live in my town, my city, and we got needs too.
I'm with you on that, right?
But like I said, I think this is a good thing. There's going to be more coming, and I've got an economic development authority working on things. And if we don't, as a Comanche Nation, if we don't take advantage of that area, somebody else is going to. I can tell you, we've talked to Love about putting a Love store across the street from it. So why not, let's get our foot on the, like, it's kind of like that casino in Ryan that you're talking about. Let's take advantage of that now before the Love truck stop comes across the street, because they're talking about it.
Can I ask you a question? Who owns that across the street? East?
On the east side?
Yeah, east side of the highway.
Larry Lowe owns that. Mr. Lowe owns that, and he has made, there's lots there for sale.
But he might be cheaper than Raul. Raul's taken us down the creek several times.
I don't get involved in that.
Okay.
I do know that it is he'll sell it.
Raul will sell it.
Larry Lowe will sell that property. But the problem is he's gonna sell it as commercial property. So it's gonna have a price tag on it.
All this time, I don't know about a lot of people, but I thought we owned that because Mr. Coffey wanted to build a hotel or something, a bed and breakfast. And I always thought that was the spot where he wanted to build it.
Can I answer that? I can answer that. All of that
In the past.
The whole purchase thing, it's a bad deal. It was just a bad deal.
Money
And we don't own it.
Yeah.
You have a question over here? I'm sorry. You had a question a while ago?
That 5-acre tract where that Country Corner Smoke Shop sits was not part of part of that deal.
Right.
That happened in the past. That was the Yakiani land around it.
So what are we cutting to the meat on here, Mr. Chairman?
All right, so the point would be that we would acquire that, it's in trust. We would acquire it in a trust-to-trust transaction. That way, what we could then do, we could lease that back to the tribe, and the tribe could develop it, they could put gaming. We can't do gaming, we don't want to do gaming. We could make a deal with the tribe once we purchase it, it's in trust, be eligible for gaming, be eligible for tobacco sales, be eligible for all the benefits that the tribe could have. Okay, so next slide. So the idea would, we would tear that old one down. Okay, we would tear what's there down, get rid of that lagoon, and we, because we were a construction company, we could build it to suit what the tribe would desire to put on that land. So that's our idea. We make money through construction, and as we're moving forward, we would be a leasing company. We're not getting into things that the tribe has under their purview. We would lease the land. Next slide. So this is the amount of money that we anticipate to get to where this would make sense. Okay, so what we basically negotiated is the top part. That's how much the land and the existing building would be. Now what's important, once again, that's in trust. Trust land is hard to get. We want trust land so we can take advantage of it through the nation's enterprises. So this is the amount that we are asking through the Economic Development Fund for this part of our presentation. Next, please. Yes, sure.
Yes. Is that what Mr. Rao agreed to?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness, well, you better take it.
Well, Mr. Rao, he would have sell it to us for $1 million, hold us hostage.
Yeah, these gentlemen here have negotiated the price, so that's what we're under contract to get that for right now. So the other piece we call the Medicine Park 80 acres is this piece along the highway here. So we also would like to purchase that. This is our idea. Same idea. We would then lease it back to the tribe or entities that the tribe would license to do particular enterprises that would make money for the tribe and employ tribal members. Next, please. So this is what we've worked out. We're under contract on this, contingent upon financing and some other things, but it would also be a trust-to-trust transaction. So we would be able to get that in trust so we could lease it back to tribal enterprises so they could do the tobacco, the gaming, and that type of thing. Hopefully, we would build or be involved in building our construction company, but we would make money because we're a money-making enterprise too, right? We would make money through lease income.
Hold on, let me get this straight. So,
88.
Comanche's building, Comanche's financing for what we need is to keep in step with that encroachment down south. So, we're talking the circle of life here, Comanche's for Comanche, that kind of makes sense to me.
Comanche's taking care of Comanche.
Okay, got you, Willie.
We've never had the opportunity where Comanche built something.
That's true.
Yeah,
Everybody else did it for
I
us.
think I'm missing something in this picture. You're called Comanche Nation Enterprises.
Yes.
Can you explain what charter means? I
Yes.
thought we were going to do away with the charters or something.
No, you'd have to go to Congress.
Yeah,
to
only
do that.
Congress, it's a federally established charter under a federal statute that allows for a tribe to set up a business entity that's tax exempt, that has certain authorities that give it a leg up in business. So that charter was done in 2003. It's been in existence. So under that charter, we spin off different businesses. We have a construction company in operation right now. We have operations and maintenance company. We would move into leasing companies, staffing companies. That's what we do. We come up with these different companies, and then we do government contracting. Because as a Section 17 with an 8A, which is it's something the federal government, if you qualify, they actually look for tribal 8As to do business with. So that's how we have jobs at Tinker, Fort Sill, the different places we have jobs. But we could do those across the board. Aerospace, as we develop those things. Yes, sir.
This construction company that you mentioned, is that the same one that the tribe has contributed how many millions to? And
Yes.
what have we benefited from that since we've done that?
Where were you on our budget last?
What kind of return have we gotten?
Sure.
Okay, so let me tell you what we understand. So over the years, the tribe has put in $4.2 million in Comanche Nation construction. That was since its inception. So during that period of time, the Comanche Nation Construction has operated a construction company. That operation, as anyone up here can tell you, before we got there, it was not done very well. One of the things we've been struggling with the last 4 or 5 months, 6 months, is to find out exactly what happened to that $4.2 million. We have engaged an auditor. We're going to do a forensic audit, and we're going to find out what happened, to your money. Now, we have only been there since December, and one of the things we've been trying to do.
It's been 107 days.
Yeah, we've been trying to make sure that as we have ongoing contracts, which are probably in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 million, that those contracts are done in a way that actually makes money, which, based on what we have seen up to this point, the philosophy of the company before we got there wasn't necessarily to make money. It was to pay salaries.
You might explain what the percentage on those contracts of property is.
Yeah.
$50 million.
What ends up happening is construction is the hardest thing to get into. Why they picked construction, we don't know, but they did. And so the margins on construction contracts are only 3 to 5%. So they're very narrow margins. And so even though we have 40 to 50 million out there, when it comes right down to it, you're only going to make 3 to 5% of that. So the whole idea is to make those more efficient. And what we've done since we've been in the last 6 months, I think we had 1 or 2 Comanches working there. We have 8 or 9 at this point, and we're looking to hire some more.
One more thing.
Yeah.
She asked the question about resolving the charter with respect to the entities. Those are 2 separate. This is a federal charter. That was a tribal charter. That was dissolved. Okay, there was a whole bunch of tribal LLCs that were dissolved. Just to clarify the question, what the answer was. This is
The federal charter, Ms. Toya, it's, they've got their own federal identification number. Okay, it's like, we're the tribe, you are a shareholder. Everybody that has a CDIB card is the shareholder. You literally own it. Their job is to come and get you dividend money. Why? Why? It's to the fact of the charter. It speaks to it. Now, we have tribes out there that surpass gaming through their charter. We got a group here. I've asked them, could you make that your mantra, your early morning prayer to surpass gaming? I think they might make it. And we get to that point, that's where we need to be. We gotta be
You went
there.
from a tribal charter to a federal charter.
Now, a tribal
in
charter
December
is,
last year.
you make it up, and we didn't have a court at the time, and it was just kind of put on paper, okay?
There were a lot of LLCs, Sandra.
Right,
That's
that's what I heard you talking about. No.
I don't see how an
We did
LLC,
dissolve those.
an LLC can't be formed within an actual organization owned, and the power is the people. How do you, an LLC says, I'm not liable if I go under, you know, so, anyway.
Yes, sir, I think that gentleman had his hand up for a while.
Okay, I'm speaking as a convention travel agent, not in my capacity. For the first time that I've ever seen any kind of positive movement for the Comanche Nation enterprises, the 2 projects that they got up there on the board is a positive step for the Comanche Nation, and I'm glad to see this. Looks like they've got the right mixture of brain power to make this Comanche Nation enterprise work. That's all.
So did they have money left over that you're using to start or to keep moving these projects along? Or they're not
I
on the
think
budget
that,
right now,
to
are
be
they?
honest with you, Sandra, what I've seen on their financial statement, they're just kind of floating along, right? You know, floating along. This group came in there, he was talking about a 2 to 3%. Their little profit margin, if this was $1, well, they only got 2 cents for it. Now they're getting like 7 to 8 cents. So margin's going up.
Yeah, and Vincent pointed out something that I had not talked about. When we came in, what we did was we got rid of a lot of the high salaried people that had been running this place. And so we got rid of $850,000 in high salaries. And we had to replace those people, but when we replaced them, we didn't replace them at the amounts that they were originally at, so.
You're not on the budget right now, haven't been for years, right?
No, they haven't.
But they still got the money.
It's just, you know, flowing off there.
But my question is, Mr. Singletary's involved in anything with you?
No.
So he's gone. Now, he did not vet his employees, because I remember that some person. Are you vetting, making sure that all your people are up and up?
Everyone's backgrounded and they have to pass a drug and alcohol screen.
Well, I'm very glad to see all of these Indians, and I don't know the one in, I forgot, I mean, I didn't get his name down.
Aaron Vogt.
Vote,
V-O-G-T.
V-O-T. Okay, so So, yeah, I'm glad you're doing this too.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think we gave 11 million to Conai or TNE on the past in all our annual budgets. Everybody might have forgot that. Anyway, what about that LLC? I thought they were dissolved. There wasn't, didn't Conai or CNE have some LLCs that were dissolved?
They, not to my knowledge, CNE is a holding company, Section 17, and it has different divisions underneath it. And so there's CNC, which you may be familiar with, which Mr. Singletary, who we retired him, he ran the construction arm of it. So what we're putting together now are different companies to go out and do federal contracting. And the kind of federal contracting we want to do have higher than the 3 to 5 point margins. There's a lot of opportunities in aerospace. There's a lot of opportunities in staffing. So those are the things that we've been doing at this time. Yes, Conrad.
Well, he was thank you to hear on what we're trying to accomplish, and that is the profit and money for the tribe, for the tribal members. Well, I want to say this: it's been 5 months, pretty rough work, and it's almost would flare up. We'd have to bring Vincent back, you know. But what I'm saying is, we've had some support from the CBC, which he said it was a mismanagement. No, it was a hell of a mess. And, you know, where the money went, how it went. Now, the CBC did work back about $250,000, which is really nothing. It's in a general fund somewhere that, as Willie said, when he finds out if it's all legitimate, it'll go back to it'll go to the tribal members along with what we can come up with. But what I'm saying is, when we come in from different businesses to get into this, what you call, I didn't know what the hell an 8R was and all that. And I see, you know, small business and all. I got a small business to do ring manufacturing. These rings that the tribal chairman made, my sons and I built those and made them. We need to try to get one for Willie, even though I'm not in that operation anymore. But the operation wasn't anything like this. When you get into federal stuff and we try to go someplace and some of the CBC, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. So thanks to a lot of calls from our liaison here, Vincent, and to the CBC, and especially to Willie Nelson. He made 4 or 5 trips on his own, unannounced, to help us out, to steer us along what we could do and we couldn't do. So I'm just saying it wasn't quite that easy, and we did get a lot of support from the CBC, and especially Willie, to put it to where it is now. Now it's up to the CBC to approve what we've got going here so we can move forward. But I just want to explain that it is, you know, if you're like from Indian Home and Cash and a graduate from there, like some of us were, it's kind of hard to follow what she was saying here. We had to cover a long time ago. Who owns the land? Where does the money go? So we have to do a lot of, I don't like to say investigation, but there's a big white word there, an audit, what's that word? Forensic audit now to see where the hell that money went. There's a lot of it. And Singletary is kind of involved with it. So I just wanted to bring that up, that it's not hocus pocus. It just took a lot of hard work and digging by these members here and my kid to get it where it is now, and the support of Willie Nelson to bring this forward so we can make money for the tribe and go back to per capita pay.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
You've got this as a proposal. I'd like to call this committee to a special meeting on May the 18th, and we put this down on paper, and we can come back in June and say, we're breaking ground. Because the people voted for $3 million for new businesses. Guess how much is in there? $3 million for new businesses. So let's just cut to the chase, quit talking about it, let's be about it. I'd like to make a motion on this table that we come to a meeting on May 18th with this group, and let's put pencil to paper and let's get to work.
What time?
Let's call it for lunch. Y'all got enough money to buy lunch?
No.
Where's your
I
office?
will buy some McDonald's.
Let them vote, there's a few more questions.
Okay, all right. If y'all don't mind, I'm gonna call for a vote for a meeting with Comanche Nation Enterprises. Somebody entertain that motion, please?
Go to the casino and eat down there.
Yes, Chairman, I will.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Red Elk. I need a second to continue.
Anybody have any second these?
Need a second to continue. Johnny? May 18th, lunchtime. Secretary Treasurer, by the Constitution, we can call a special meeting. We've only had one in the last 18 months.
You want that as a special meeting?
Yes, so we can take care of business. You betcha. And that'll be an open meeting. That'll be an open meeting. Hold on, sir. We got a vote on the floor. We got a vote on the floor, got a motion made by Mr. Red. Need a second to continue.
I have a question. Will there be more business other than this?
I don't think so.
This is the sole,
This is a proposal, we went
this
back,
is
and
a-
there's a lot on this one, so.
Y'all have a business plan. I've been asking for a business plan
We have
for,
one.
my gosh. Okay, we got the development, we've got the matrix of the actual, from cutting dirt up into from EPA to everything to get it done. You got a feasibility study. No more talk. You guys, and I want the Comanche world to know this, they have spent $3 million on feasibilities, master plans, and nobody does nothing. So this makes sense if we go here and just move. Every casino we got, for the record, and I hope the world knows this, was done wrong. Done with lawsuits, done with some other body's money over here. You know, that's the past. This makes sense, a Comanche Nation entity, Comanche Nation money, earned by Comanche Nation Gaming, to recycle itself to make who? You, the shareholders, more money. So if, I don't know, if the business committee can't see that, this is gonna die on this motion. I need a second. Well, we're in a legal quorum here, sir. If, you know, they've tried economic development, the CBC. Name me one government that knows how to do a business. They don't. I can't name one. So there's a motion on the floor. Hold on, there's a motion on the floor. Need a second to continue.
who made the motion?
Mr. Red to meet on the 18th at lunch. That's a Friday.
Well, I don't understand is why are people so afraid to get into it? I mean,
I don't know.
dadgum. I mean,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
it's right there before.
Well, that's what I want to say.
Hold on, there's a vote on the floor.
Well, let's get a vote on the floor then. What the heck's the wait on? Let's vote.
Yeah.
Second it, somebody.
Out of order, sir. Out
If
of
you
order.
don't want it, say no. You don't want to help the Comanche people, say no.
Hold on, hold on. Keep your decorum,
Been here
sir.
a long time, you know what
Keep your
happened.
decorum.
You
Need
know
a second.
everything.
I can second.
Motion is dying. I'll give it 10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Seconded by the Secretary Treasurer. All right. I guess we better go to a voice vote on this one for sure. Secretary Treasurer, if you could call a
You know,
voice
all the
vote to
things
meet.
happen.
Let's put paper to pen. Let's get going.
I vote no.
Susan Cawthorn?
I'm not gonna put paper to pencil because we haven't heard anything. Willie has been privy to all this information when the rest of us haven't been.
Have I
We're just
been?
now
So,
hearing it.
yes, so I'll meet with them, but I'm not putting paper to pencil till I know what you're actually doing, and that's only good business, I think.
I already see us saving 300,000
Well,
for
that's
Ralph.
you, that's you.
You know he tried to ask for $1 million from us. Y'all know that.
That doesn't mean.
Our lad's on here.
That don't mean nothing?
Our lad's on here has been this man, and he's met with a lot of people here, including the attorney, so don't say that
Okay,
you don't.
okay,
know.
keep your
I'm not
order,
talking to you.
keep your order, okay.
So are you voting yes or no?
I can't believe.
I said yes, but
Okay.
yes.
Okay, it's just to meet, good grief, hopefully
Well,
by
you're
June.
saying putting pen to paper.
Well,
you're
gosh,
not
we're
gonna
talking,
get there and
all we
sign.
have is talk. They say they have contracts, let's
They
look
talked
it
with
over.
you. They've talked with you.
Now you have a chance to talk with them. If
That's
you
right.
vote yes on this situation, then you'll have a chance to talk with the committee
I just
and make a
voted yes.
decision.
Okay.
Let's proceed, let's
Okay,
proceed
let's
with the
keep
vote.
order, let's keep going. All right.
Robert Tippecanoe, yes.
What are you so afraid
Jonathan
about?
Polway,
I vote no, because I'll give you my reason. I want to cut out the middleman. Why don't we do that as a committee ourselves? Let's try it. We've got to pay somebody to do something for us and give us a 10% return. Same thing with the smoke shops.
They cannot run gaming. This cannot run the gaming.
Okay, let me.
Gaming would be ran by our gaming. They cannot run gaming. The charter speaks to, no, this cannot run gaming. Only tribes can run gaming.
And that, we've always
But if we buy that property, we can run gaming on it.
Okay, now the deal is, gaming and us are in the process of doing this. This is not new. We're in the process of doing it ASAP.
Who was at your
And do
meeting
what- let me
yesterday?
finish.
I'm sorry. Who was at
Let
your
me
meeting
finish.
yesterday?
The deal is, why should we give them the money to buy this and they turn around and lease it to us?
We can't
That don't make any sense.
We can't get a better deal for Al.
To me, we need to buy it, which we've been trying to do and everything.
It's just a meeting.
We've been trying to do this,
Just
but
a
we're trying to,
meeting.
the realty's been working on
I'm
this
so
for 2-3
afraid to
months.
get into it. It's
It's
just a
almost
meeting.
finalized. We're gonna do this ourselves.
Okay, we're in the vote. We're in the vote. We're in the vote.
Mr. Tippecanoe?
Don't need no middleman.
It's
No.
our money, and wherever it's coming from, they're still working for us. That's our money. We just don't trust what happened with Konai in the past.
11 million.
They really, really did us wrong. We didn't even know
They
that.
never even came and talked to us, Beverly. We didn't know
Well,
who they
this
were.
guy knew everything too. Now he's the liaison for these guys. We were left out in the cold when he knew everything with Wallace Coffee.
Mr.
He
Tippecanoe?
knew everything with coffee.
We're still, okay.
we're in a vote.
Can we have some order on the floor, please?
No, I'm not lying. I don't lie.
Order on the floor. Okay.
I don't lie.
Order, please. Vern, can we have some order? Okay.
Eddie Arce was no. Ronald Red Elk?
Yes.
Where are we at?
Okay, we have 3 yeses, 2 noes.
We'll see you guys on the 18th at lunch, and we'll meet here, open meeting, open meeting. Everybody that has a vested interest, which is every Comanche, come to that meeting. Lunchtime, 12 o'clock.
That's what I said.
One thing I would like to say is that
Hold on, order, please. Order, please, order. Go right ahead, sir.
My name is Cornell Peavy-Orty. I'm an educational liaison.
Early voting here.
I don't know, there's an injunction on this vote that might last till June.
I doubt it.
My framework comes from an educational liaison, and it comes from identity. It comes from who we are as Numina, as Comanche people. So as we talk about property, we talk about who we are. And to me, cultural identity is framed out of place-based constructs, water-based, land-based people. That's who we are. How that ties into property and land and all these endeavors has everything to do with our identity. It means to me as a Comanche citizen, we are related to the land and the water. We determine our sacred places. So as we begin to think about initiatives in business and property, we determine that sacred place. We have, these departments that are part of that. And therefore, our Comanche Nation identity includes our inherent right to self-government and self-determination, which is to me about property, which is framed from a land-based and water-based culture. And that, I know that's a different cultural switch in consciousness to Thivals that don't look at it from the land-based and culture-based. They look at it as property, as money, and that's different. But because we have self-determination, we decide who is our identity. And if it's framed out of that property because it's related, then that makes us sovereign. And that's a whole different, we reject the colonial construct of property because it shifts that whole Operation Mendai from a colonial power structure. And so I thought I'd share that because as an educator, we're talking about this in English. I would like to move all of these departments more towards a Comanche-centered nomenclature, which includes some of our land. And so I thought I'd interject that because this is a discussion about who we are and how we're related to land and water. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Okay, I'd like to recommend that the Cassini to do a real construction company. I recommended that when Conai first started.
Okay.
But we need a real, so instead of 10% or 3, we get 100% of the profits.
What you're saying
But,
is
we need
some
Comanche,
bulldozers
economic developers.
Okay.
You have to do these projects.
Guys, there is a vote going on the 18th, proposed vote. Can we move that to the 17th? Is that okay? That'll be Thursday at lunch. Thursday at lunch, here. Thursday at lunch.
Yeah.
All right.
What I'd like to interject is that when you have these meetings like this.
But we do need a construction company.
That is
a real construction
that
company.
is just a meeting to.
One that gets
hash out.
100% of the profits.
It's not to make any certain decisions about how much money we're gonna spend or anything like that. All it is just a meeting, that's all.
Well, okay, we're gonna move on to, thank you very much, Comanche Nation Enterprises, thank you.
We need to buy Dodd property.
All right.
We need to buy Dodd property again.
Can we have order?
Let's buy Dodd property again.
Money.
Yeah.
Order, please.
I'm for Dodd property.
All right. Dodd property, that got sold. Okay.
God's property.
All right, sorry, sir. This gentleman right here, he asked to be on our agenda. Come forward, sir, if you could. Just off the record. Just go. Yeah.
Good afternoon. First of all, I want to thank the chairman for inviting me.
Speak low. Can we have some, please, everybody, can we let this gentleman speak, please?
It's an honor to be here with the nation.
Please, can we please have some quiet, please? Can we please have some quiet? This is an open meeting. Can we show a little respect, have a little quiet, please? Go right ahead, sir.
My name is Mark Kavasik. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here with my colleague, Bob from California. We're part of our representation team that comes to Oklahoma a couple of times a year, the last 8 or 9 years, where we've been talking with the people of different native tribes within Oklahoma, sharing with them a particular special message. I noticed the agenda said author. I'm not the author of the book. My grandfather was. But I worked on it with him. And the book that we shared, that the chairman alluded to, was called The American Indian Moses. The reason why we have this name on the book and our belief is that there is going to be a Native American that's going to be brought up by God, who's going to have a particular message for his people and helping unite your people and particularly getting your lands back. We believe, our belief is, that this land, North, Central, and South America, was given to the Native people and it needs to return to the Native people. We're not trying to start a church. We're not trying to ask for money. We're sharing a message. This message that we believe comes from a couple of different sources. My grandfather brought me here back in 1971 to the Indian Exposition in Anadarko. I was a young man, as you could guess, at that time. At that meeting, in 1971, we went to the exposition, and interesting enough, while we were walking through the camp, sharing the same message, my grandfather saw 2 young men who were getting ready to dance the powwow that evening.
And he said, let's take our picture with them. And, you know, I was 14 years old. I said, that sounds kind of corny. And he said, no, let's take our picture. We walked up to them and asked them. And we took our picture. And I've had that picture all those years. About 8 years ago, when we were visiting, I showed that picture to a young woman who said, do you know who those two young men are that are getting ready to dance? I said, no, I don't. She said, they're my uncles, June and Gene Solo.
Good. That's all.
After 40 years, I got to actually meet them again. And last year, I had a chance of meeting June Solo. I had met Gene a couple years before that. And it was so nice to see after 40 years this connection, how God brought this connection back to us because of the message that we're sharing. And I know Jim, we've met before and shared the book with him as well. I'd like to leave a book for your library so that anybody can do it. But if you want more information, we have information with us, our little flyers that have it. We have a website, www.first-voices.org. You got to put the dash in there because if you don't, you end up at a dating service site. I'm not going to be held accountable for that. But first-voices.org. But I want to stress the importance of this message that we have. A lot of what we hear in your discussions, those type of things are important. They show the excitement, they show your drive, they show your interest in the importance of your people. We love it when you see you're preserving your heritage and your language. And really what we want to do is we want to share this message with you as well. That God has great things in store for you in the near future. And we believe God is going to do that through His Son, Jesus Christ, and through this American Indian Moses, whose name will be Joseph. And we know that God is going to use him and as Moses was used for the house of Israel and the children of Israel. So if you recall your Bible studies, Moses did great things through God. This American Indian Moses is going to be similar that way. And you'll recognize him and you'll understand what he's doing for God, for your people as well. We don't know who he is, we don't know where he is, but we know the promises that he's going to bring. This is the message that my grandfather put into this book. History and prophecy. And what great things are going to be coming. So with that, we'll be here after the meeting. I'm probably standing between you and lunch, which is not a good place to stand. But please feel free to come and talk to us. We have some flyers we can share with you. We'll sign the book and leave it for your library as well.
That'd be great, sir.
So Chairman, thank you very much.
Thank you
for your board as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I believe next will be Mr. John David Wawney and the Walters Memorial.
Chairman, CBC. I was here a month ago at Veterans Monument that we'd like to erect at the Circle of Honor in Cotton County, where the Comanche Code Talkers, for those people who are not aware, 15 of the Code Talkers were from Cotton County. The rest of them were from Comanche County. A lot of people didn't know that. And so in Walters, Oklahoma, they have what's called the Circle of Honor. And they have monuments there that covers those that fought, died, missing in action from World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea. And I got to talking with several of the family members down in the Cotton County area. And we feel like we'd like to call upon our leaders here to join us. We'd like to put a monument down in that Circle of Honor where the Code Talkers can be with their comrades in arms. And I think it's a good thing. And I'm sorry I don't have enough copies to give everybody one, but I'd love to. But on the front of the monument, it'll have the Congressional Gold Medal front and back. And on the back side, which is to your right side, committee, it will be the Comanche seal. And this gives the direct history of those, what they did, the major accomplishments that were achieved by them, the medals that were received by them, and it even identifies which ones were buried in Cotton County. And so, this is not a political thing. I just hope that we can get support so we can get this monument up. And I know the CBC has always been supportive of the veterans. I know that. I saw that this morning. I was glad to see what they did for you. And so, with that in mind, I'm just coming before the CBC, and I'd like to ask your help in getting this monument erected. The cost for it will only be $3,300, and that's total cost. That'll take care of the stone. It'll be 5 feet tall, 4 feet wide, and it'll have inscriptions front and back. On the front, it'll have the 15 code talkers that were from Cotton County, and on the back, it'll have the 8 that were from Comanche County. So all of them are identified on front and back. We don't want to leave anybody out. And so with that in mind, CBC, I hope that you can support this. Like I said, it's not a political thing. It's just strictly something that I think needs to be done, because that is really something. I don't know if you've ever seen that circle of honor down there, but it's nice. And I'd like for us to join in that circle.
You want us to move on this today?
Yeah, I would like to know, Chairman, how the CBC would like to deal with it. We'll leave it in y'all's hands.
I have a question. You said on this monument, the Cotton County people will be on one side and the Comanche people will be on the back side. Why can't they both be on the same side?
It would, if you take a look at the print time, this is the best we can do with it. And remember, we're trying to identify.
So this is going to be the front side? This is going to be the front side? All this?
That's the front side. This is the back side.
All the back side? Oh, I see.
Yes, sir. Everybody's identified. It's just that some will be on the front, some will be on the back. But, you know, I think this is something that I'm very proud of. My father was one of them. I'm very proud of it. And I'm proud of your relatives that are on here too. And I wish, like I said, I wish I could give every one of you a copy of this. But it'll be a beautiful monument that we as the Comanche people, we can be proud of. CBC, I'd like to leave it in your hands, Chairman, CBC members. Thank you for entertaining me here today, and whatever y'all's wishes are, we'll carry forward.
All right. All right.
I have a question on
Yes.
that issue.
Yes.
Why, I'm just asking, why couldn't he or you guys go to CIBA, because isn't that supposedly one of the reasons? I'm just saying, you know.
Well, I don't know. I've seen the list that they've done from October to now. They really do a lot of work with CIBA.
Oh, I was just asking, you know.
Yeah. It takes money to do things, and they put in a lot of sweat equity. They kind of erect things on their own and all that. On that business committee, I guess, when do you want an answer, sir? When do you want an answer?
Whenever you, talking with the Lawton Monument Company in Lawton, Oklahoma, if it's approved by the CBC, we can have the stone done, completed, and ready, and we can set it in place and be ready to go for the Waters Homecoming. This coming Waters Homecoming, and we can dedicate it at that time when we have a majority of our Comanche people from that area.
You know, it's always, I'll be honest with you, it's always about finances. It's always about what's on the line item budget. We're privy to, you know, your people's money. But we're also privy to monies we get from rentals and things like that. But we can't move with that without the tribal council's involvement. So things like this, you know, and let's be honest, you know, $3 million worth of overspends and charitables, you know, for years. And
unaccountables, you know, and do it for one, you gotta do it for all kind of things, you know. John David, I don't, you know, you were my coach. You were specific in what you told me. You know, you told me if you're gonna win, be the best winner. You even told us as young people, if you're gonna be a drunk, be the best drunk, you know. Anyway, it was a statement that meant a lot. So all I can say on this is we will talk about it, come out. We had a powwow group called Comanche Little Ponies come before us. We don't know how to go there. You know, where do we get this money from? You know, so.
Doesn't Walkers have doesn't the powwow organization raise funds for their powwow? How they couldn't include this monument or whatever he's wanting to do that?
Ask them. I can't.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, you're campaigning for yourself. You just got to stand. You're my coach. You want me to, if you're gonna win, well, you know, it's.
Okay,
Let
we'll leave
him
it
know.
there.
Let
Can
him
I get
know.
a motion to adjourn this part?
Wait, I gotta
And
make-
we're gonna adjourn the open
I've got
meeting
something
part,
I'd like
and
to
we
do.
are gonna go to executive session.
I like to,
Go ahead.
In the past, the CBC or the tribal administrator has hired the police chief. Okay, now, what I'm proposing is that we get to a point sometime that we can elect. Of course, there had to be some kind of amendment in the Constitution, but to elect
Yeah,
the chief.
like they do for counties and. yeah.
Yes. And you know what kind of changeover and everything else will we have to go to do that? I
Should've
realize
brought that
Vern's
forward
about ready
last
to-
weekend.
Vern's about ready to retire, I guess. That's what I heard. I don't know. Is that true? He'll retire?
I make a motion.
Nelson,
Oh, is that true?
Nelson,
Easy
I want
job.
to say something real fast. I just want 5 minutes of your time.
Jarvis?
Yeah.
Jarvis, you know, that's a great idea. It is, you know, other people have suggested that it has to go to tribal council.
Yeah, I realize
Yes.
that.
I just
That's
want-
the reason I'm bringing
I
it
just
up
want to
now.
bring it up that.
I wish you brought it up at annual meeting.
I just want to, I don't want nothing to do with the business or anything, that I just wanted to bring it to your attention that I had some illness and it came to good. So I had to make a decision, and I made the decision that I have to step back in this politics, because you have to make a decision. And I got my eyes back because I had cataracts. So if I said anything to anybody, Beverly, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's good.
And
That's
so,
good.
I didn't say
Very
I'm
good.
gonna quit, just have to step back.
That's very good.
And
Very
so
good.
I just want y'all to know, I won't be coming back. Plus, I'm taking care of my husband, which y'all all know, Frank Whitewood.
Yeah.
So I have, like anybody else, you have to make a priority, you know? So,
don't leave us.
well, I'll be in your heart. But, you know, I just wanted to let y'all make that statement, you know, and keep him. I don't care about me in his prayers. Please, that's all I ask.
Well, Susan, at the end of the day, we're Numina.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're Numina.
But I believe in what I did and what I've said up here.
I'm glad you did that. That's honorable, very honorable. So God bless you and your husband.
Thank you.
And God bless your life. All right?
Go into executive session.
Motion made.
Excuse me, I mean, Mr. Obviously, you said several meetings ago that this is our time to allow to bring things up. Now, we all know we got Facebook, so I see a lot of stuff going on there about the the elections. So all I'm coming to you today is to ask you what is going on the ballot and what is not going on the ballot and why.
Let the court decide it. We got a motion, and I need a second. Let the court decide it.
I'll let you quit your.
Well, on that, I mean, the
Well, I
people would like to
answered.
know.
Well, I answered.
Mr. Chairman, I second that motion.
Everything has not been finalized because we found new results for you. So we're gonna have to meet again and, that, Parker, what Parker was it?
I wish we wouldn't throw names around. So we got a motion and we
Well,
got a second.
I don't.
All I want to know is the ballot's going to go out before this is resolved or not.
I would hope.
We're gonna have to meet again.
My driver's license, I'll show you.
You have a motion and a second.
Okay.
Sorry, don't ask about
right.
people putting forth stuff. I know you got things you wanted to discuss, but the people want to know and have answers also.
I've actually put out what I put to the court, and all it is a question on processes. It's not a lawsuit on nobody, it's a question on processes. We'll let the court decide what they decide, let the election
Well, could there be
happen.
a public statement to let the people out here know? Because nobody
Yes.
knows. They're just putting innuendos out here on Facebook.
We'll make a final decision Monday or
I don't have
Tuesday
him on my Facebook
on the
page.
ballot, who's on there and who's not on there and all that.
All right,
We'll
all
have
right.
that first of the week.
I have the county clerk records proving that the case that was assigned to me
Sure.
was not me.
I know it.
And I have
Yes.
proof.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why we
We
gotta
have it.
finalize it.
All
We did it
those-
once with your name
All
off
those
of
in
it.
favor
Now we gotta do it
to
again,
adjourn
put your
the
name on
open
it.
meeting,
That's
please
what I'm talking
signify by
about.
saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're gonna move to executive session. We will move to executive session. And thank you once again, Miss Susan Parker. Thank you. Can you give us about 10 minutes of recess?
Okay, well, we can ring the bell.